You mentioned that time of hitting. Your offense is still clicking, necessarily not despite not hitting home runs. You're playing some good ABC baseball, it seems like.
Well, we got a good mix of speed and power. You know, Boer and Villanueva, Alcantara, Silva. We got about 5 guys that give us legit power as far as gap power. I don't worry about the home runs as much because when you start talking that guy's over swinging, then they strike out a lot more. But gap power, and then if you go over the wall, but the big thing is we're getting on base, and we got 4 or 5 guys that are plus runners, and we got a lot of guys that can score from second, and almost any double. If you half of our lineup, if you at first, a double to play them from, if they're at first, a double to play them. So we have a good mix of offensive players. You look at the stats in the league, we got a bunch of guys in some category, whether it's average or total bases, extra bases, or whatever. So we have a very productive offense.
You mentioned that speed. How much creativity does that give you as a manager to play with the lineup, play with certain situations during a game, given what speed you have on your team?
Well, we got stopped a little bit last night with a couple thrown out stealers, but overall our stolen base percentage is really good, and the threat of a stolen base sometimes is as important as a stolen base itself when you have guys on base, because now they start throwing over the first, you draw a pitch out here and there, and plus you get pitchers trying to really be quicker to the plate when they really aren't that good at it. Next thing you know, they get down in the count to the next hitter or possibly eventually walk them, so you're adding base runners. So just the presence of speed on the bases, I think at times is as good as the stolen base itself.
You got a 5-game lead up in the North Division right now, and if you look back at it, you went 16-3 against the Jackson Generals. How big was your games against them in the standings now?
Well, if you look at it, that's 13 games over against them, and I think we're 11 for the year, so that means we're a couple of games below 500 against everybody else. But sometimes you come out in a year, somebody has your number. Last year they had our number, and I don't know what the overall record was. We played them 25 times last year, and we may have won 4 or 5. So luckily for us, this year it turned around and it put us in a position that we have a chance to make the playoffs.
Going towards the home stretch of the season here, you do have that lead. What's your job as the manager to keep this team focused and to push them towards the playoffs?
Well, they're smelling it. Players they know what's going on, and you can tell with the way they're playing at the level, especially when you see the defense that we played last night. Everybody's making a commitment to win, and then you guys have witnessed there's nights we've been down, and then we found a way to get back in the game. We hadn't always won them, but we found a way to get back in with a chance to win them. So the character is really good. Now lineup, when you have a lineup that's solid like ours, hitting 260 and leading the league in a lot of categories other than runs scored and a lot of productive players, you're never really out of a game. So they know that, they sense that, and as a group they're finding ways to win.